Today we're printing a couple of samples. We're printing an example of a rook, just a chess piece. The printers that we have all different sizes so we can print. We go from the smallest at about a 6-inch cube up to monster machines like this. It'll do 8 inches by 12 by 16 high. Our resolutions can go down as low as 20 microns. Doing a con like this that is more localized and in an education setting, people are asking the questions on what they can do to design things for themselves, to be creative on their own, not let me buy something that someone else has done, put it on my face as a mask and walk around. So for us, that's really kind of why we gear more towards these types of events.
I'm a 2D artist and designer. I worked on all the graphics for the con this year. I was able to design the programs, which turned out really great. And I also have some prints here of the logo and stuff that I sell. And I was selling some of the merchandise here at the con. It was a really good time. Well, I think the main value of the library setting is that it's very community orientated. This is something that's local, where you have actually not just the really cool exhibitors and the stuff to buy, but you actually get to talk to people that have resources that you can use every day. You can come back here every day and use the resources and interact with the people here. And I think that's what makes it a little more personal and special than some big kind of convention center or something like that. So actually, when I was in high school, I got a grant through our school library to map local cemeteries. And that was probably one of my most interesting library experiences. It was about the culture and the history of the area. And it was actually, what was most exciting about it is when you go through, you see these really old, like some of them have really old, difficult to read stuff, and they have like poetry and these epitaphs that are actually really kind of beautiful tributes to the people that were there before. And all of that stuff gets cataloged for the school. It was really cool.
Yeah, we're doing a makeup demo here for the people of the show, and we started out with the foam appliance that Morph Store. They're my sponsor for this event, so this is a piece that they supplied, and we've already done the edges, laid that down, and done the base coat of the primer, and now we're adding on a blending layer that will blend the colors. So this is just a demo that shows people a little bit about what goes into a makeup. I got started, God, I loved monsters, and you know, when I got into this, there was a lot of books out that you could read, and Starlog and Fangoria, so I got in just experimenting with the different things that we could do with makeup. For me, seeing 1931's Karloff Frankenstein, that changed my life. I saw the effects that they used on that, and the techniques, and read about how they did it, and I said I have to do that. That was like so exciting to me to be able to do that. So years later, I get to play with the stuff and, you know, do makeups. We have Medea's Halloween. I worked on that with a bunch of my colleagues, and just different projects like that. So I get to play and love what I do. I enjoyed the process. It was something that I felt at the time I had to do to see what I could do as a makeup artist. And I had no problems with the experience. It was just amazing. A lot of people say, oh, you were robbed, and oh, you got kicked off so early. To me, it was an awesome experience no matter what. So it didn't matter. I thought I was going to be kicked off in the first 5 episodes. I'm the old guy. I figured I would be the first to go. So anything over that was fine. You know, I got what I needed out of it, and it was a confidence thing. You know, I was able to hang with kids half my age, and I did okay. So for me, it was life-changing. At least in my day, I spent so much time in the library because that was where the resource material was. And I think that that's still a valid thing. Even though we have access to Google and everything like that, people don't realize they can go to the library and they can have access to computers, they can have access information the world over and from all time. So I believe that, you know, just being able to connect the two, and make it work. People coming to an environment like this, they're not getting lost in a mega crowd. And a lot of the conventions have been so big. I like doing these because I get more one-on-one time with the people that come to the shows. So that kind of hand-in-hand, it works. It works, and especially on this level. So I'm all for it.
My presentation was about what it is to combine makers and geeks together. And so if you have, for example, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you have the ability to use a laser cutter and an engraver to make your standard X-Wing fighter. Now, the thing is what's great about this, obviously you have something that's really cool that can celebrate your fandom of Star Wars, but the work it takes to make this, to be able to design and create something like this is really the true ability, as far as the ability to learn along the way. The same way that, this is a Pikachu, and if you have that ability to learn how to use a 3D printer or design, then you can make a robot that actually works. So everything along the way towards celebrating your geekiness, all these skills along the way are all true maker skills, which is really one of the great things about combining geekiness and makerness into this exciting world where you can learn along the way and also show off your artistic and creative side. Libraries really, just like science centers, really are hubs of creativity and of being able to research and find and discover and make these discoveries. So it's not unusual for libraries to have maker spaces. It's kind of a new phenomenon that's happening. But it's very important that libraries have this support by the community. So one of the ways to do that is to attract adults and teens and everyone to themes such as, if they have an interest in Harry Potter, bring them in through Harry Potter, but then also teach them how they can make their own magic wands, which is a 3D printer or a laser cutter or other types of technologies, or something that lights up using LEDs and electronics. So everything along the way, as you draw them in and you bring in like-minded people. So besides being a place where you can create, libraries as well as science centers are social hubs. You meet people that have the same interests and you make friends, and you discover that with these groups of people that come together, that you're able to do amazing things and spur one another on in these sorts of creative discoveries, these maker meetings, maker cons, and that's one of the great things about maker cons and maker fairs and hacker fairs. All these things are open up possibilities for new networking and creative events. As a kid, I used to be a kid librarian in school, so I used to love to go through the books and explore, and I think that's one of the exciting things about a physical library versus a virtual one is that you have that opportunity to explore sort of like a maze, like a labyrinth, and make these new discoveries. And it's also important, again, that libraries are ultimately social hubs where they can not just be about finding people who read books, but also people that have clubs and hobbies and maker hobbies and all kinds of things, computers and as a teaching location. So I think as a physical place of discovery, that libraries have always been something that's always been near and dear to my heart.